Drinking from a fountain, born of yesterday. Take me where the wild lilies grow. When I didn't know, that's the way that it goes. Where the wild lilies grow. Even though you roam, you can tell that you're home. Share the wild lilies soul in the undertow. I can follow the glow. Where the wild lilies grow. Even though you roam, you can tell that you're home. Share the wild lilies soul in the undertow. I can follow the glow. Where the wild lilies grow. Even though you roam, you can tell that you're home.
I'm going I'm a mix of kids, I fuck up and you guys make a big page, but when I do big, I mean outrageous. Who you think is dealing with doll face? I only will make kings and queens, you know, cause I'm the ace by the case. That's right, I said I'm going in, while you out running errands, I'm running this game on me in that top spot. Natural born winner, work hard, play harder, come and get it if you wanna, but yo, you better know. I'm going
Ladies and gentlemen, have you been bit? Have you been hurt? We're in the snake pit and I don't want you to freak out. Of course, over in Chongqing, once again, the snake pit is venomous, but WE know that. They come from Sion, and I don't know what kind of snakes are over there, but let me tell you one thing. There is spicy chicken's feet that I had when I was 16 years old, and I will never, ever forget it. Welcome back. My name is Jake Derek Sozikpenko. This is Brento Raz Muhammad. I was ready to talk about Post and Flandre, but after that, I'm sure we're all ready to watch Snake vs. WE.
Apparently, I'm hungry too. Yeah.
Well, we're going to have a bite after this, Raz. Don't you worry. And you know what? A bite of something good to eat, because with WE and Snake, it's all hell's breaking loose. And that's the best type of meal. Raz, this is an interesting series because for me, these guys are on a bit of outskirts, right?
Yeah.
So I want to introduce a bit of a new segment.
Okay.
Okay. We'll just go right into it. Called FF at 15.
Oh.
These are the teams that sit on the outskirts. You know, they're like at that. Are they at that 8th place position? Well, they potentially could be fighting for the last spot. So let's run through it a little bit because we have 4 teams sitting on the outskirts, and our surrender at 15 was FF. You all know what FF is.
You guys played it.
We got a couple of teams sitting there, and I want to start with our very first one.
Okay.
Because our first one maybe shouldn't be there, and it's Suning.
Oh, no!
And this is unfortunate, because after losing to OMG, they probably deserve to be here, Raz.
Look, I don't want to even have this conversation. They should not be on this list whatsoever. The only reason we're having this is like, okay, 4 series losing streak. They go up against Invictus Gaming and lost. Everyone kind of expected that. When they lost to OMG, no one expected that.
They did not.
This was them just sieging upon 2 Nexus turrets, only getting 1, and working on towards the last one. And they lose 1 team fight, 2 team fights. I counted 3 team fights where they lost consecutively before suddenly like OMG were starting to hammer through their outer turrets. Like that's how snowbally that game was for Suning. So look, they're having a tough time.
You mentioned Rogue Warriors was inexcusable. What does that make this?
What? Oh, in terms of the loss?
Yeah.
Sure, like that's even worse.
Yeah.
But like, to be fair, OMG had been playing better like recently. Like they almost beat JDG. Like they were getting to a certain degree where you're like, okay, as a team they're getting better. That was kind of not the series as a great example because like first few games were just OMG not playing well. In particular, the best 16 was not having a good time. So I will say, Suning, you're having a rough top of this play. Expectation was top 3. Reality was,
who knows?
But they should make the playoffs. By no means is this conversation going forward. Go to the next team.
Okay, all right. Let's move on to V5.
Get out of here.
Suning are going to make a place, and if that is 8th place, then where are V5 going to sit? Because with some a bit of a star-studded roster, it feels similar.
Look, if this surrender vote came to me, I'll say maybe there's 2 people at best going for a yes. But easily
That's the
3
annoying
people.
one, yeah.
But then 3 people are going no. But I don't think it's annoying because this is definitely winnable for the team. I think across the board, if there's something that Victory 5 has, is individual talent.
Yep.
But then if you compare themselves, like relatively speaking, like Corn's playing well, but against the top 8 teams that are right now sectioned in the playoff position, you already saw Kuro, who's sitting nicely. And if
Sure.
you're talking about the 2 teams that are like expected to be in precarious positions, people expected BLG to be kicked out there, or at least to be in that spot.
Sure.
And they expected Sino Dragons. And maybe it's going to be Sino, but we already talked about Suning should have that spot. So it's tough, but I think Victory 5 has that because one player that is still very strong in comparison to the competition is Jinu. So I think Jinu's going to be there to at least give them that hope.
If you're going to play something comfortable, you're going to play something like the Riven, I would be willing to bet on
Damn.
Jinu. Believe in him in the top lane. Someone else you need to believe in, though, as we progress. Remember, 2 more teams here.
All right.
On the outskirts, very relevant to our matchup, Raz. Start with Snake.
Oh my God, FF.
And Snake, man. This is like a
lost.
4-1 or is this a 5-0?
This is a 4-1. But
All right.
like, okay, if it's 15, then it has to be a 5-0.
Yep.
If it's
Oh,
15
sure.
minutes, then it's 5-0 no matter what.
All
But for Snake, I think, remember in the past few splits, they've been having a tough time getting into the playoffs to start. They got kicked out by FPX in the last split when it was getting difficult for them. And they only got a worse team here. Remember, the improvements that they've made as a team was giving Mala a laning phase.
Yep.
Like, the first 3 weeks, he had consistently negative 10 CS difference at 10. Then he got like good matchups now, and he's -2. So like that's still a hole that they have in the middle portions of the lane. Their early game has been competitive versus the top team, so they play towards their competition.
Yeah.
But then very consistently at later on in the game, they start to flop. So they still have talent in Flandre, but the issue is that that's not really working out for them. And I think that the top 8 positions are already being contested pretty heavily. And I'd expect if anyone gets in there, it's going to be Suning in Victory 5.
It's really rough, especially when Flandre has played pretty much every single game since Snake's inception
Yeah.
into the LPL.
Yeah, rough times.
You really want to make yourself into playoffs, but rough for Snake, rough for
next.
WE as well. This is a GG next if I've ever seen one too. Maybe somewhere between Snake and V5.
Yeah, look, it's for me, it's gone. Looking for WE.
Hmm.
I think WE has some, I have faith in WE.
Okay.
I have faith because the biggest change for them has been beishang. Like, if we're talking about progression and growth, I didn't see growth and progression from Snake, but for Team WE, they're looking better across the board.
Yeah.
I'm liking beishang bringing in. If there were a team that was already pretty bloody at 15 minutes into the game, beishang has amplified that and then some. So, like, I love to be able to see what he can do for this team going forward into the playoff spots.
Old WE, I was like, oh, it's just going to be another split. We're not running 9-5-7. What is the point? Then beishang comes in, with
Yeah.
Post already doing decently too.
Look, his Aatrox was phenomenal in the OMG series. It went the distance, and this is kind of like the old tale people wanted to see. Who wins? The old organizations of OMG versus WE. beishang comes into the mix, just nails it down. Huge KDA in that series in the 2 games that he had in the Aatrox. And then it's not just that, too. The Olaf that he has as an option was really cool when he was coming into the series. They're not subbing him out anymore, and there's good reason for that.
Yeah, Magic, it's going to be very hard to see a performance from him, especially when beishang is continuing to heighten WE and kind of makes them on the edge.
And in reality, you should never see Magic unless if he has beishang has consistently bad performances. Right now, you have an aggressive jungler that has focus. He knows where he wants to go on the map. He's bringing xiye alongside with him. And right now, it's tough for WE. So if it's like you're having that FF vote at 15 minutes, you might have 4 people that's going no, but there's that one guy who's doing well in his lane, and it's beishang. He's like, wait a second, hold on. We have a chance.
You mentioned before how beishang is influencing this team in many different ways. I mean, the stats don't lie there either. From beishang entering and now playing every single game, you're like, hang on, WE, that's a massive difference.
Yes.
That's a huge difference.
Boom.
There you go.
Before beishang, after beishang. That's crazy. The fact that, like, if we're just talking about the early games, the first 15 minutes being so influential for the team, the fact that the first blood ratio's way up, and the first dragons are being able, they're getting those dragons so consistently, which means they're playing on the bottoms of the map, playing towards both xiye and Mystic, 2 of the major players you want to be giving advantages to. So I think they have everything, all their ducks in a row. They're going to have that one heroic run to make it into the playoffs.
It's always great when you have a fresh jungler, as we see with this roster, post beishang, xiye in the mid lane, Mystic and Missing. Missing's been playing a mighty, mighty Thresh, but over on Snake, they want to make it out too. Flandre, SofM, Marla is starting today, Asura and Maestro.
And if there's going to be any hope for this team to make that run, it's going to be through Flandre.
Yep.
You need to see Flandre and SofM have those heroic performances. We are seeing an EDG led by Ray on his Vladimirs and Aatrox. So why can't Flandre do that?
That's right.
I think the support should go topside. Asura's already having a great time bottom side of the map, being able to play a nice and silent game alongside. You know, remember like how Jin Zhao has been performing? I see a lot of Jin Zhao and Asura. And I want to be able to see that, like, have the top side set up so you have two great looking side lanes and team fights. Remember, late game Snake has been real hectic. There's been no focus for the team. I want them to have that discipline and to slow it right down.
When we saw a lot of Flandre playing,
劳伦一这支队伍，我
or
觉得
rather
他们是以下路为核心去打的队伍，然后我又相信我们的上中也会比对面的上中也会强很多，所以我们下路只要稳住，我们就可以赢下比赛。Magic 和北上都是两个新人的代，然后就是他们经验的方面不是很好。然后 Magic 我知道就是他很喜欢就是帮 Mystic 拿到优势，然后北上我是不是很懂这个人，打他们两个我很有事情拿到优势。
You heard the laughs in the crowd. You
Yeah.
heard the crowd being like, all right, you know what, we want to hear something about beishang. He's like, I have no idea, dude. All I know is magic, all right? You don't give me any more information here.
it was like Magic really likes to hover around the bottom lane and get them ahead. Well, it feels like beishang does more or less the same.
Yeah.
But it's funny to get the insights as well there because with a team like Snake and especially the position they're in, WE is a very winnable matchup for them. This needs to be a win for them. This has playoff implications down the line if it comes to that for either team. So not knowing enough about someone like beishang is concerning, considering that beishang has been the biggest change.
Well, I mean, the analysts on the team, the coach will be able to tell you what what beishang's been doing. I think a lot of people like SofM works based off of feel. Has he played against the jungler in the past? How has he ranked them? The fact of the matter is that he hasn't. And so for SofM, going into beishang, you know that he's going to try and challenge him. That's the SofM way. Style of me. He's going to try and, maybe look for the least in pick. Try and see if he can get the better of the matchup. The funny fact about this one is that he said that Magic plays towards Mystic, plays through bottom lane. Everyone does that.
Yeah.
Like, we saw last split, that's been the case for Pepper. Pepper and Mystic were like a pair. Same thing happened through Condi. Condi was playing through mid a little bit, but no jungler from Team WE has ever played through topside.
No.
Top lane has just been the no game.
Which is interesting. Again, because Post is having a really good performance. And with a bit of love and TLC, a bit of a hug to this new top laner.
Look, you're saying he's having a good time, but you keep having, look, the conversation is Mystic in the previous splits consistently has been a top 380 carry.
Yeah.
For how strong the pool is in the LPL, Mystic is the way you come out winning alongside xiye. So it's easy to play through xiye because you can unlock the mid lane through shove and go through one of the side lanes, and very reasonably you want to go through Mystic. So Post in the beginning of the split hasn't been playing well in terms of being able to communicate with the team, and then simple mistakes that he was making. You're right, recently he's been stellar.
Yep.
But what I would love to see from Post is, do as well as Ray has been doing currently, like picking up the Vladimir, Aatrox, all that. Do well in your own island, and then clue in through TPs, have vision on the map. beishang is willing to go. If he's looking and his focus is going to be bot side, proper TP ward being placed for him, that's been happening a few times, and just being able to execute it quickly.
You're going up against Flandre, there's a real possibility that it's going to be a carry style top lane. Otherwise, Post will just navigate back to one of the Sion or maybe something like the Urgot again.
Yeah, I think Urgot would be a wonderful pick here. A lot of high damage threats have been coming through from Mystic. So Kai'Sa and Bane, pretty consistently. If that's the case, then you can go through towards Urgot and try and go for a pick composition. Maybe spur the team fight on by just waiting for the Urgot ultimate to come through. Fear beyond death and a few targets. Makes fights a lot easier if you can, gun it down to just that one interaction.
That's very true. It does mean that Urgot will be pretty telegraphed as well, because don't really see xiye picking up something like that these days. LeBlanc has been making its entrance back. Standard mid lane pool for xiye hasn't really included that.
I wonder. I think xiye is, in this series, going to be really crucial. I know we've been talking about Mystic and beishang quite a bit, but this is just a clear-cut mismatch in the mid lane. That Mala should have a real rough time versus xiye because people won't remember, xiye last spring was the second best mid laner next to Rookie. And then going into the summer split, he was playing just as well, even with the woes that Team WE had.
Yeah.
So xiye is a strong laner, and he's been getting a lot of attention. Magic, even in the previous interviews, had made it known to the public that he's like, hey, my strategy is just get xiye ahead. Open up xiye so he can leave the map early. So if that's the case, and that's still going to be the strategy for Team WE because the shot caller is still xiye. So I think Mala's going to have a real cutout for him.
One of the few teams that actually has a shot caller through the mid lane. Raz, is there another team in the LPL that we know commonly uses the mid lane as their voice?
Rookie's a good one.
Okay,
in gaming, so he's a strong one. Doinby is another one for FPX.
All right.
You're going through a lot of mid laners here, so I mean, I could.
You know what?
It's not gonna
Three's
look good
enough.
for
I understand. Three's definitely
I
enough.
could keep going, but yes.
Doinby obviously being the obvious one.
Yeah.
But for xiye, I'm excited for this split for WE because if they can make playoffs, then suddenly I go, you know what? WE summer as well. Like with a new roster towards the top side of the map.
They just need more experience is what has been necessary. Even in SofM echoing that sentiment where like this team individually, we say this a lot about the teams that are below 500. They're wonderful players, but they need to be able to find that direction. And even currently Team WE has that direction, but like individual play of beishang, of post, they need more time on the rift. So a lot of the easy mistakes that they've been making doesn't happen. You already saw in the last series, Jay made a lot of mistakes, individually speaking. That won't happen if he has more time on the rift against the best in the Premier League. We'll have to see going into this game if we get those mistakes or if Team WE turns a new leaf.
In the snake pit in Chongqing, we begin again. All right, two team fight teams, two teams where, all right, we know what we're looking at here. It's going to be pretty bloody. I'm nervous.
It seemed like you were nervous or something happened.
Something.
A revelation, something.
I mean,
what hit you?
You know, life hit me.
Okay.
And when you have Wei Xiao as a coach, you say, hey, boss, should I play Ezreal? You'd be nervous to say no in front of him, but it looks like WE did. And Mystic just first picks Kai'Sa.
I wonder if the Alistar is going to even be given to Missing. Missing is a great Thresh player as well, so he's not too concerned. He's one of the supports that is more than willing to leave his pick going into the second phase.
Yeah.
But if you're Team W, if you want to be holding for counter picks, you can do that if you're blue side, if you want to pick your bottom lane just from right from the get-go. So look towards the Braum, the Alistar, the Thresh.
Yeah, the Thresh has been played by both of these supports, so maybe it's a contested pick in this series, especially to open up in Game 1, but Lissandra has made it through to the red side for Snake, and it's a no-brainer here for Mala.
I think what we should get here from Snake alongside the Lissandra is the Ezreal and the Alistar. Like, that would be a pretty good laning phase here. Tahm Kench is probably good because you know you're going to be giving away the Alistar, but you shut down the engage within the laning phase. We'll have to see what Snake end up going for.
Remember I said before that it didn't really seem consistent to see the Urgot, maybe on WE side, but for Snake, they pick it up over the bottom lane.
Yeah, Snake already showing who their solo laners are. At least getting the priority targets out there. They're not concerned about the counter matchups for top lane. So if you're post, you can go Vladimir. Vladimir's been bad. Sion's, the option that he can go here for. Yep. So good on WE, just going for a tank pick so they can go for the composition, but now don't have to worry too much about the laning phase.
They got a Cataclysm locked down there for beishang, so already the setup here for WE. Now you wanted to see the Alistar, you wanted to see something like the Ezreal. Bottom lane has only been half picked for WE, so you know that a lot of things are going to get banned here in the second phase. Yeah,
I think Ezreal would have to be... It's funny that Asura moves away from it because that's by far his most played pick here.
Yep.
So maybe we'll get to see something different. I mean, there's a lot of picks you can go in towards the Kai'Sa. We've been seeing a lot of Xayah, has a really high % win rate, 80% at this point. Going into Kai'Sa makes it a free laning phase, and you can look towards what would be a great front-to-back team fight with the amount of tanks, or even looking towards Lissandra. A lot of time she can spend as a frontliner.
It's also one of Mala's most played champions as well. More or less successful with it. We know Mala now for the Syndra that he's picked up. So he's going to have to do some work against xiye, and we already said that mid lane matchup was going to get harder and harder. They're like, hang on, how do we make this easier? Well, I mean, the Cassiopeia still one of xiye's picks, but there's so much still open there. As the Syndra was the first ban.
40% win rate here for the Cassiopeia. So like for how often he gets picked, which is 12 times, it's been losing quite frequently. It's mostly because AD carries have been picking up to allow for like flexibility, better trading bottom lane with like something you can get on red side mid. What?
That is...
You were just doing stuff here.
That was one pick that I was looking forward to. The other was the Zoe.
Oh, so you're just giving me faces as I was making my point.
I'm just giving you faces.
All right,
as
that's
you're making
fair.
your point. I mean,
But my point was just that the Cassiopeia is such a great pick for xiye. So banning it against WE is a smart idea, even with how unsuccessful it's been in the LPL.
definitely is. So with Cassiopeia out of the way and the Tristana actually locked in. Remember, 9.2. We still have old Infinity Edge. We still have Stormraiser. One item power spike. This mixes up the draft for both teams, even bringing in the Corki for xiye.
Yeah, I think a few people need to know that. Not only just the fans watching from, on these streams, but some of the players as well. We saw Icon pick up Infinity Edge first item as a Corki. You're like, please stop. That's 9.2. That's really bad and inefficient. But Tristana could still have like his days in the sun. Laning phase will be a little difficult, but like how long the game, like we already talked about it's much like it takes a little longer to get to your 3 item power spike. But looking at the composition, you have the wave clear of the Lissandra. You have a great team fight composition going up against Team WE. This game is going to go the distance.
Yeah, it definitely is. Two teams we pitted as team fighting teams. They had the least sin, and this is going to make it pretty nice here for SofM. We know how active early he can be, and this fits right under his belt.
And I said he would pick up the Lee Sin to challenge beishang. Let's finally get the opportunity to do that. He is the most active Lee Sin that I've seen in terms of the early game. Like, there are times where he just goes for a level 3 bot lane dive just because he has the push for it, and he has the bottom lane to back him up. Technically, that's there with the Tristana and Alistar, so you have to watch out for that. He may not go for it because the Braum is there, which is just like, at that point, you know, that's a trolling idea. But with how inactive you'd be looking towards Corki early on in the map, he has a few windows that beishang has to be aware of.
We've seen so many Jarvan and Lee Sin matchups tonight. It's only fitting that we see one here in this game to kick us off. Does the Lee Sin win? Does the Jarvan win? I mean, we don't really know, but we do know that Scuttle has been contested, and Scuttle at level 3 is going to be a big point of contest.
There's not a lot of the good Lee Sin players that have been able to showcase his skill. I think Nang is a wonderful Lee Sin player, but he sometimes has those gaps in judgment. SofM is not that. SofM is our best Lee Sin player in the league. So when he picks up it, you have to respect him. Respect the matchup to a T. I think you're looking across the side of a Jarvan pick. He has to recognize that he won't necessarily have the shove mid. He won't have the help to combat the Lee Sin coming at him.
Pretty rough time for both these teams. Sitting at negative win rate here in the LPL. Snake and WE have been on a journey. And that journey doesn't stop here. There's a big road ahead for both of them. WE and Snake have IG and RNG respectively as their next matchup. So a win here again, it could be what breaks them free and challenges for that 8th or even 7th position in playoffs. Game 1's going to give us a better understanding into how that happens. So let's jump into it. Snake's home arena. And you know they'll be the loudest here. Now Tristana might even be one of our first here in the LPL for spring. See how it does in the bottom lane. Oh my.
I thought it was the Gatling gun from Corki, but I was wrong. Get her off my screen.
Why are we still as obnoxious as the cowbell?
Not settling at all.
Cameraman's thinking about it. He's like, man, I should just go back.
Yeah.
Sure, the producer. No,
all
yeah,
right,
there
well,
we
let's
go.
get him what we want. This is what the fans need. Closer. Closer.
Most tilting thing is the ward spots him out, so everyone gets a piece of that.
It's not as bad as that one Amumu skin that you could hear the cries from across the map.
Oh, yeah.
That was a wonderful time.
Was that re-gifted Amumu?
No,
was
that was the robot Amumu.
Ah, that's right. An aggravating time. Well, considering we're seeing our first Tristana though, Raz, it'll be interesting to point out that it is a fleet footwork start, which you'll see in a lot of solo queue. You also see Sorcery as the second there, maybe going for something like Gathering Storm.
Yep, Gathering Storm is the norm. You get the AD off it the longer the game goes around. It's just like base stats that's always a plus. The only question for a lot of AD carries has usually been if you go towards mana flow ban or absolute focus after the nerfs.
Yep.
Absolute focus for an AD carry that's not really expending too much mana is just usually the better call here. So that's what you should be expecting here from Asura.
Also saw another fleet footwork on the eyes of xiye. But we'll take a look at the jungle because it's going to be a blue starter, blue invade here from beishang.
Yeah, beishang going buff to buff. He's going to be just sticking around the bot side. So if you're SofM, you get an image of that, you're just going to be trading sides yourself. That's where now you're going to be calling on Mala to get the shove here. The last thing you want as SofM is to have these adjacent lanes crash on you. You could even have beishang make the call to come and protect blue buff, so we'll have to see what ends up happening here. SofM has no urgency on the play.
What is beishang? He's going for Raptors, not going to go straight back to the blue buff itself.
That's a huge wave.
It's massive.
That just means that Flandre will be able to help out.
Straight into the enemy jungle begins now. Beishang's making the move as well. Level 3 on the Jarvan.
Just so people know, Glacial Augment's pretty nice on SofM, Sion in the past.
Oh, that's a steal away.
Talk about the sense of urgency. beishang ended up challenging him, and he can keep his blue buff safe. So he's a manaless jungler, sure, but the experience that you don't get to have. There we go. He has Urgot, so this will be a fight.
Mala finally got the shove out in the mid lane as well, so it means that xiye really can't join this. He's going to be given over buff for buff, and a good roam down from Flandre.
Yeah, Corki can't help, Post can't help. But back to the Sion point, because he has Glacial Augment. The only thing that I want to talk about is the fact that if he gets in range of his auto attack, which is going to be a few times in this specific matchup, then it's going to be nice to be able to follow up. Even if he ends up dying, his passive is going to be nice to be able to get the damage down.
Raz, if you wanted to see fighting though, we're going to find it in the bottom lane.
It's very true. Let's go.
Two teams want to start it off. Maestro gets knocked up. There's not even a flash, but Maestro thinks he's going to survive. He flashes late with the second skin. He jumps back in. That's going to be first blood, and it's over to Mystic.
That's a two-man knock-up. You don't get to see that a lot with the Jarvan. They were so spaced out too, but he gets both of them knocked up. He's been able to get the kill on a Maestro too, so well done. Mystic gets the kill. SofM said a lot about, you know, Magic being the one that gets Mystic ahead, but beishang showing there's no difference here.
Yeah, who is beishang? What does he do? We're not too sure. Double man knock-up. Good start here for WE. We wanted to see an aggressive game from both. We wanted to see those team fights, but even in the laning phase, and now SOF, who moonwalks,
Happens.
is trying to be active himself.
Gives you an idea for a Lee Sin skin.
What would you call it, Raz?
Well, there's only one guy that moonwalks, so Michael Jackson, Lee Sin. Of course, you wouldn't call him that because then a certain family would be upset about that. But
that's what I'm saying. Oh, Snake want to make something happen. The moonwalk's coming back again. It's on the Mystic first, and Mystic is going to be capitalized here as well. Explosive charge down. There's the Ignite waiting for the fire, but they don't burn it. AD carry down. Now the support as well has to flash away. Mystic kept onto his summoner, but it was not worth it.
yeah, Mala committing to the play just in case. They didn't have an idea where beishang was at the time. And also, Braum just makes it hard oftentimes if it's a 3v2, so good call to bring Mala into the play.
Doesn't lose too much. Couple of minions in the mid wave after xiye is able to push out, but beishang was waiting for him to come back mid, seeing if he could ambush him. Was spotted out by one of those deep wards from Snake. We'll have a look again.
This was good. You even saw Maestro playing it well, walks up to the wall and gets a double pulverize. So makes him easier. Mala doesn't get the assist, but still quite happy with the play coming through.
Good rotations early from Snake. Mala has looked better. If we talk about people looking better and better. Now, if Post started out rough, I would say Mala started out super rough.
Yes, he did.
What did we say? He was not the best mid laner in the league.
He was the opposite.
He was the opposite.
And so, like, for him it was harder because he wasn't known for his mechanics. In fact, when it came down to Andy versus Mala, the team came out, players said that, hey, you know what, Andy's stronger mechanically and he has the off-champion pull, Jace, Zeb, Yasuo, all of that jazz.
Yep.
But they said that Mala was the more consistent. Mala was like essentially the team player who could play the game, what the team needs out of him. And that's hard for a player that's coming in from Korea. Like, that's hard for a player that cannot speak the same language. So week one was inevitably going to be rough unless if he had the mechanics and had a standout individual performance. But if he's not coming in for that, he's coming in for team play, then he definitely needed the time. And so it's definitely marked improvements in his individual performance right now than in week one.
Yeah, week 7, or week 6 rather, was shown the Syndra play from Marla, and actually for the first time I think we gave him a couple of MVPs as well. So would it be good to see Snake actually having another star to build up on? Of course, with Flandre and SofM,
well, star is a bit of a stretch.
That's what you got to build up on it, right?
You got to build up a reliable player.
4 years.
Oh, here we go. Get out of there.
Yeah, unstoppable onslaught out. beishang's here too. Post has just come back to lane.
You need to get out of there because Flandre used his own ultimate, but it'll set up for a dive. We'll have to see if Jarvan can hold that one back.
beishang's just out of the Braum.
Oh!
Sonic Wave there with a war drop as well, but SofM underneath the turret. Not a good dive, SofM.
So I like the mechanics. Ward hopping in to get the auto attack, weaving it in so he can Q. That was like max damage to get the one on down beishang, but it's a 2v1 under tower. Poor decision. Good mechanics. Poor decision wins out.
It definitely does. He just gave some gold over to beishang.
Yeah, you did.
Underneath the turret, and you know what that means as well. Post can stay in this lane. He had Corrupting Potion. He ticks it over. No more pressure from SofM in that dive.
After that, beishang must be sipping that cup of tea. Like, he is definitely happy about that situation.
Oh, he even came top. He just burned Flandre's flash.
That's another cup of tea for you.
Happy laning. So perfectly done. We'll have a look at this mishap again.
So, I mean, I already talked about the mechanics behind this. That was really cool, but that's not max damage. He's not level 6. There's a lot about why that was wrong. Oh, he's in the same position.
Again, but this time, Post, it's
Oh
not going to
my
be a good
God!
dive. Hang on. Maybe it is. It's just happened again. SofM can't land the Sonic Wave. Post is still alive. Marla has to go invulnerable, but xiye has enough mana with the Phosphorus Bomb auto attack. xiye gets a kill as well. Snake, just run. This is over.
Now, I don't know about you, but this is why I love to watch Snake Esports. Alright? Snake Esports put you on your seat. You don't know what you're going to be getting. Sometimes you just get 2 replays in a row and you realize, oh wait, that's the same damn... Oh no, it's a... Alright.
We came out of replay and we're probably going to go into another one again.
Let's just see if... Okay, SofM is not going to be in a deja vu moment. It's pathing bot side to his camp.
He's never going back
But
up
we get
there.
the chance to see how this happens all over again. Because there's a lot of damage on Post. And so he follows the Q, which is a good idea. He blocks his way through. So like all of that capping... yeah.
No red buff, of course, means there's no burn.
No sad.
Post dodged that very well, and xiye clean up Marla as well, who came up as a response. Marla is moving across the map. It's being very
doing a good job. It's the poor plays that's been pulling him. So what started out great for him, I mean, if he's going to be following a play like that, it's not so good.
It's not 0-1. Lost his life, meaning xiye could go back to the mid lane and has been able to have the shove. Almost a Trinity Force on the Corki at 9-10 minutes in the game.
Yeah, he's been farming real well. 90 minions, 9 minutes, essentially perfectly, while still getting the kill goal too. So he'll be real sped up, while at the same time beishang's been getting 2 kills into his pockets, and he has the CS advantage, like the experience advantage, as a level up on SofM. So we were talking about xiye and beishang as a duo for a majority of our, like, you know, pre-game. That's definitely coming to reality here.
Had the chance to work up over the past couple of weeks with SofM. He's never coming top again. As we said before, he's a level down. He's actually just here for the camps, but beishang wants more. SofM is not willing to go into a committed relationship, so he's just going to keep distance.
Yep.
And it makes perfect sense. It's full priority for the side of WE. And Post just should have died. Maybe twice.
And this is sad because should be the winning part of the map for Snake, but here we go.
It's turned into WE's winning side.
Yeah.
Great Cataclysm. Flandre tries to escape. Decimating Smash. The flag. And finally, the drag with SofM. He doesn't know what to do.
We said that there's going to be a point of the map that we wanted to see Snake succeed, and it was going to be in Flandre and SofM, but that's actually the map that's just losing out.
Yeah.
All hope's going to be going towards Asura, but on the Tristana, he's going to need a lot of time. So we're just talking about what items he needs to get going. He's got his BF sword, finally got the Storm Razor. The fact that I still have to say that word this day and age, 2019, is absurd.
Glad that item's removed.
There we go.
Not removed, but you know what I mean.
But like, then he's got to go rapid fire cannon, still going to be struggling a little bit for damage. Like, he needs his 3rd item. And at the pace of this game, he ain't going to get it.
No. At least for Mystic, he doesn't have... No, he does. He just picked up Storm Razors at a pickaxe, so
easy.
Never mind that. He does have a kill behind him. Infernal, where it counts, though, for Snake. This is going to be a well-deserved dragon, if they can get it.
beishang.
I mean, does he want to steal a blast cones there? He jumps on over.
Hello.
900, what do I do? Gets midway before getting bopped up. Infernal does go over to Snake.
All right, at least they committed the full team there for Snake, so they can at least push him out. Beishang could have easily held flag and drag until he was attempting the smite and then had the escape strategy. So good call overall from Snake to get something back.
They don't lose too much as well. I mean, top wave is pushing in, but Flandre is going to be back in time. Marla could just easily move across. Lose topside scuttle to beishang, but they're going to lose that anyway. Post might be able to zone him out here. And remember, Post is 2 levels ahead. I didn't even see that. That's just rough. And hello again. beishang found SofM, kicks him back, and Post ready to bully him.
Yeah, Post has been in the lane for a little bit. While they're still sticking in the same round, like around the same CS margin.
Yep.
It's been Flandre who's had the advantage to begin with, got ganked, and then ended up rotating with his team bot side. So, I mean, Post has been reaping the benefits.
Sion's been another champion he's picked if he hasn't picked up something like the Vladimir, which both these top laners are well known for. Post coming into the split, made one of his debut games on the Sion, so it's pretty stock standard for him. And to be honest, if you're in the LPL and you can't play Sion on top, I don't know what's going on.
It's always a question about the type of Sion you've been playing too. Like if you're the shy, then you're always going to be going Iceborne Gauntlet and looking for fights a little bit more frequently. Post, the way he's playing this one out, is a lot more reserved, quite obviously, but oh my god, let's see if this play goes through.
Mal just dodged out, he finds a 2-man root down, but can he get out in time?
Can't get out.
I'm not sure what the point of this was, but he goes into ultimate form. beishang has to ult away, getting SofM the kill is going to be the priority as one goes over. Xiye wants to get the trade-off, flashes away, but it's not going to be worth it. Summoner's burnt down, Xiye can't get himself out of this one, and Asura roams up for his first kill.
Yes, SofM ends up giving Asura the kill while they have mid lane push too, so this actually worked out real well for Snake. I think Mala had the opportunity to leave that, but he ended up sticking around, and SofM clued into that play, so being able to take the opportunity, get down beishang, who's fairly squishy at this point of the game.
Some big bounties that went over as well. Post underneath turret has just been hit by the ultimate here from Flandre, but Post trades one himself. He was just trying to be a nuisance under that turret, and he succeeded. And this turret plating falls down here as well. Post going to be able to push up, and Flandre might either have to back or use teleport, but decides on neither.
I like the itemizing here from Post, because look at what he's going up against, going with the Cull, which is a lot of sustain here. But taking a look at the play once again, Mala hides himself, looks at the play a little bit. I guess he couldn't take that exit out, but still was in a great position to isolate both beishang and Xiye. Xiye still tries to go for the kill, and thankfully he nets it. But unfortunately, there's no exit strategy there. It still gets caught out by Asura and Maestro.
That's big bounties going over as well.
Oh my
just been
god.
found again. No ultimate available package to escape. Xiye still a massive, big flying pelican. 3 kills now as he needs to escape. Once again, Sonic Wave doesn't land. Maestro looking here for the tremble, but Maestro is taking a big burn of damage. Phosphorus Bomb neither connects, and Sonic Wave will not be taken. But Xiye has the shove here with the Ref Herald coming down.
Yeah, and this one's going to take this mid lane tower. It's unfortunate, man. They double down on the play, thinking they can get the kill on Xiye. Here comes Flandre at the flank.
Most attractive champion coming in for the flank, missing now.
There goes
in with the
Flandre.
Winter's Bite. beishang in a weird position, but forces Flandre to flash as the ultimate down from missing, and SofM slow down as well.
God.
Here it comes, Cataclysm out, bombs away, but unfortunately Xiye can't snipe him either. The Acathian Rain, rather, Void Seeker looks for the kill. Everyone's knocking up, and Flandre's just getting out of there now. What an abusive team composition from WE.
This is turning out to be such a huge benefit to Team WE. Everyone on Snake was like, let's look for a play. Mala falls down, you're like, SofM's like, okay, come here, Maestro, we get the kill on a Xiye. Didn't work out, it's like, okay, let me get out. But Flandre's like, wait a minute, guys.
This could be it.
I got a good idea. Every single time we see a Snake Esports game, I told you why I love it, is every single person's creative, but in the wrong way.
Yeah.
There are some times when you should learn how to fold them. Now, this is way from the beginning. There's no way Mala's getting out of this. Like, take a look at it. He already has the package. He's going to get pushed under tower. Mala should concede this entirely. But doesn't. Sticks under tower. And then ends up dying because, like, even if you press ultimate, you can just end up using your package to get on out of there and just negate all of the CC.
Probably would have been fine without the package as well, just pressing W. Xiye now level 12. Trinity Force was picked up a while ago. There's a Zeal there after that play, and the bounty's back on his head. So while we set this up nicely, where you said it yourself, Raz, Xiye just such a better class of mid laner than Mala. And it's showing.
Yeah, you always like to see xiye set up to succeed, but just through the matchup alone, he really didn't need that much help from beishang to start with. And this is why when we get into that segment, we talk about Snake at the moment in time. It's just hard for them individually speaking on the mid lane. Because, like, remember last year, they were close to making the playoffs in the summer split.
Yeah.
It was just hard because, like, Wogo fit that bill of a player who was the supportive player to SofM. He supported the plays much like what Mala is doing. But he had a little bit more class, a little bit more skill, as we saw from the Orianna play, the Vladimir play. So Wogo had his moments. I think there's a lot more development that's needed here for Mala to be able to improve individually speaking within the league. And then on top of that, I think coordination with Wogo and SofM and the rest of the team was much easier.
Yep.
SofM was getting better in terms of being able to speak the language, and Wogo, of course, was Chinese ethnically.
And when you have the stability of Crystal in the bottom lane, who was there as long as Flandre had been, it's quite simple to have stability all across the map and implement these new strategies of players.
Well, I agree in the fact that Crystal would know the strategies, will know the team, the relationships.
He was there.
But I think Asura is just a strong performer.
Yeah, potentially. We've seen so far as SofM tries to jump back in that Asura has been ready to follow up this game now with a rapid fire cannon. 2 items on this 80k in the bottom lane. Missing like which ward? It's Christmas.
It's like you just come into a room and you're like, there's gold everywhere.
Which one do I get first? He loses one.
Yeah, unfortunate.
Oh, that's okay. Still trying to clear out vision. You know that Baron side is irking up a little bit here. 6k gold lead for WE. They have full control, and they know that in 1 minute 30, they're going to abuse it a little bit more.
Sometimes people always look towards the map and say, like, what objectives are going to be? Map, Dragon, Baron. Sometimes teams just want to be able to get experience and gold underneath them. Like right now, xiye has just picked up his rapid fire cannon, so he's already like on fire at the moment.
Yep.
What he should
Infinity Edge.
Yes, thankfully. What he should do is like find himself on a side lane, net the experience underneath him, so his ultimate can do more damage. They can play around package a little bit more consistently when side lanes are pushed up. So you can already see him on top lane. That's good because the key right now, as much experience and gold on Mystic and xiye as possible. Oh, here we go. They already see a play though.
It's going to be quick from WA. I'm not sure how Flandre is going to react to it. beishang going the other way instead. Getting some deeper vision, or at least trying to counteract it as Snake.
Oh, here comes the package.
You can hear it. Look at that fire. Hot stuff onto Flandre, but they're not in just yet. Missing jumps forward. Snake very committed to defending this bottom lane turret.
I mean, the next wave is probably going to be the hardest. Remember, package is relevant now, with mid lane being can wave pushing in, so people have to deal with that. And bottom lane wave is about to crash too, so this is when package is going to be relevant. Either Corki comes down here and helps them pick up this tower, or he stays in the mid lane and allows the team to be able to chip at it.
xiye has half the mana bar. He's just staying in the mid lane for now, rotating after clearing out the wave and getting the shove forward again. Snake are a 4-man unit here. Look, Marla has teleport, but he's nowhere nearby.
There's no flank ward there. Well, technically there's one all the way down bot lane.
Yeah, that's a long flank.
That's not going to work, so.
Marla was like, I know they're going to come topside eventually. I'll just wait here.
There's some players that'll go for the play like Doomby. There are some instances in the last series you're like, well, that's a long teleport.
But don't worry, I have Righteous Glory on right. I would also say that this game for Marla is very far off of maybe Doomby's performance last night. That's something certain I can say. A very safe point as well.
Good call.
Yeah, very good. Thank you, Raz. For Marla, 0-3 on this Lissandra, but still the ability to get some of these picks with that Luden's Echo. But you know, xiye at the moment, who in a side lane, knows that Marla can't deal with him. He's 2 levels above the other mid laner. And a full item as well.
My eyes right now are on Mystic, of course picking up red buff, but he needs to get level 12 so he can evolve his Q.
Okay.
So right now picking up mid lane wave, I think he can get it off this wave. Nah, yeah, let's see. He's close. There we go.
All right.
Now he's good. A lot of good damage has just been amplified on the Mystic, so he's in a really good position while you can already see Corki had been pushing up top side. And they've been doing this for so long. One of the benefits of having those side lanes pushed out consistently is that like no one can reach the major objectives anymore.
Yep.
You're working so hard on these lanes that no longer the 3 or 2 minute wars that you've been placing on the field have been able to last for you to refresh it.
Now they're at this point where the shove comes back up again. Snake either push in or they let it go. Let go the vision rather. They don't want to sacrifice the Baron. Hello, SofM.
This is the hard part, though. For a team that doesn't have any real clear engage other than the Sion ultimate and Jarvan ultimate, because they have double AD carry and Braum, like, they need to be able to play this one out well. Bring Snake over to the pit. You're not going to be able to burn down the Baron just yet. So if you're in this kind of position where you're like, how do we end up getting a pick? Are we going to go super hard with the Jarvan ultimate, then realize, oh, everyone still has flash, so they can fight back? Like, for a team that is just getting better, starting to work at the basics at the moment, like, that's usually the tough way to play this one through. So we'll have to see what W ends up doing.
Getting Dragon for now. They were focused around the top side and waiting for Snake to push through, but Flandre is the only one who's really going to make that step. I see a Warmogs on post, nice and early with the Righteous Glory. This Glacial Augment Sion has been a busy boy.
Hey man, it's a good strategy if you're ahead.
Yep.
If you want to rotate with your team and just like eat and soak up as much damage, and then you don't want to reset immediately, like they can play this Baron game fairly long now. He's already rotating, so he knows his role.
Gonna be a quick ultimate in the river if Snake push out. Marl's like, can I do this? Can I actually make my way there?
It's possible. It's possible. We'll see if that's the play that they end up going for. It can be a stretch. It might be just a play for a flash. If they can get a flash off of either Asura or SofM, you're good to go.
Very doable with SofM in the front line here, missing, puts up the door. Post even joins in the mid lane. He's ready to engage himself. Strange positioning now for WE as Snake could potentially collapse, but xiye's on the top side. He's got the push out again against the turret.
Is anyone going to make a move? You'd think it'd have to be Maestro.
Moved on to xiye, we're trying to lock him down, he cleanses away, flashes away as well, but in the jungle, the fight onto Flandre, who's caught out, knocked on back as beishang goes golden. Maestro, it's a messy one, you wanted to watch out for Mystic here, Raz, but Post into the front line, finds the knock up onto the support, into the ultimate again. SofM has to walk his way out, very fancy footwork with Asura free firing. Flandre's already found Post, but in the zombie firing mode.
Let's go.
Asura with 2, Tristana with 3,
in there.
jumping in and out. Finds the triple, that's all that's needed.
My God, you just wanted to find that one opening, and guess where they are? Right close enough to Baron Nashor itself.
All right, SofM, he's gonna start this up. Teleport's gonna come through. And WE, their set time isn't too much. And the rate that Asura does Baron is way too quick.
Yeah, this is huge. The fact that they're able to get the fight top side of the map and get the reset, so yeah, just 1 kill turns to 3. Humongous, and maybe we can get xiye getting the steal here.
xiye has package. Can he get the Q, or rather the ultimate? In jumps the jungler of WE, and beishang's going to go down. Worth the try, but too late. xiye can all but watch as his jungler drops again.
That was real hard for Team WE, because my goodness, this is the risk that I was talking about. If you don't have clear points of engage, it all starts with them getting DPS on xiye too, so he's eliminated from the fight. He really can't do too much. And then members are flashing out. Flandre can kite back out. You're like, well, maybe Maestro. Maestro flashes right back out as well. And then the DPS from Asura starts to matter, because he's already going onto turret, a tanking pose. He starts tanking down Missing, and he's looking at Mystic as well. Already took down HP on him as well. So he already set the path. Gets the reset on him. Moves towards Mystic. They thought they can turn back on him. xiye is like, I don't think so, man. I'm not joining this one.
Such a rough time from Mystic as well. He pops the ultimate and Asura pops his. Turns out that Tristana ultimate is much better in that situation. But 3-0 and 3 now. And that's the Infinity Edge I want to see after 3 items. Or 2. 700 gold bounty on Asura. And suddenly with Snake, it has once again become about this AD carry.
He's already level 14 too, so draw beads giving him the huge range advantage over Mystic at this point of the game. We'll have to see if Snake can now just gather around Asura's damage.
When Tristana has a lead as well, these turrets just go down instantaneously with the explosive charge. They'll get this one with the help of Baron buff and then get out.
All that gold advantage Team WE had just dissipating.
Yeah.
It's gone. You just now look towards members like xiye and Mystic, because they're still great late game scaling champions, to say that you guys have to be able to carry the ball. xiye doesn't have his Infinity Edge just yet, but man, he's like grasping at straws to pick it up. Been farming real well throughout this game. 282, 26 minutes in, so more than perfect. Just trying to claw towards that gold.
Very true. He's been sitting in the side lane quite a lot. Mystic the same. Picking up more farm in those bottom side waves, now grouping with the rest of WE. They're searching for blood still. Makes perfect sense. Baron buff has been utilized on the top side turret, but nothing more for Snake.
They still have some great vision, even though they lost a few people. top side, if Snake ever push in, they have a good control ward to the blue side jungle. So there are some ways that right now Team WE can repel a push from Snake. And Snake just wants to use this Baron buff to just reclaim the map and get some gold back.
Hopefully break down that bottom side outer. Even with the Urgot by himself against the Sion now, this is where it becomes a bit of a pickle. Flandre actually has the level advantage for the first time this game too.
Flandre does need to get rid of his ghost here because 47 seconds until Baron comes up. He needs to be able to get that back on rotation so he has teleport.
Yep. See if it gets burned around. Okay, there's a turret. Don't care about the turret. I want blood. I want WE to smack down with the now Infinity Edge Corki.
A lot of members here. You can actually see, look, Mala just waiting for people in rotation. Looks like beishang. Remember, beishang's aggressive. He's young too.
Yeah.
Prone to making mistakes. Let's see if he cuts through this red side jungle. Yes.
Blooded jungler finds the control ward. Now finds Marlo. Oh, the Hex Flash from Maestro threatening around. Snake will pick up the turret as well. They're just down in the bottom side, ready to take the fight. All 5 members from each team are here.
Flandre's taking a bit of damage. He's your frontliner, so you have to back away. Here comes Sion ulti.
Some onslaught onto Flandre. Can't get
Grab
out
the
of
bullet.
time. Get the crab. Put him on the stove. Let's cook him up. But Maestro now turns into the beef patty. Post is not the one to drop. It's the jungler here from WE's. The ultimate comes out. Xiye finds Marla. A 1-for-1 with Post re-engaging. Mystic getting burnt down very heavily here too as well. And Snake keep on pressing forward, wanting more of the fight. The lockdown here on SofM.
They found their target.
Has no mana, gets knocked up. They find again SofM as the knockup comes in from Maestro. They have to disengage. A lot of summoners quickly burn. Mystic still has the flash available, has the Renan's Hurricane. A lot of damage coming from Xiye. The re-engage from Flandre, but he's given up his life. Maestro jumps in as well. The door doing everything.
Is he
Mystic
jumping
jumps
in?
forward. SofM, and again Asura actually turns the fight. He's hopping as well. Doesn't have the flash available. Another triple for Snake's AD carry.
They were playing that one up so slowly, trying to figure out if they get out. Yeah, it's a little bit sad on that last bit. Sion getting some retribution. Asura is huge, but take a look at how hard it is to play through what is a double AD carry and Braum composition. He tags a member, at some point tagging SofM, and he had the stopwatch. He's like, okay, xiye and Mystic are playing slowly, just walking up. And so they made the call for Maestro to go all in. Really well done, allowed Asura the time to just go for it.
Sure, 7-0-3. That's the Tristana game you want. And there's an Infernal.
There we go, roll that dice.
Pretty happy if I was on Snake right now, despite how it started.
So this was a great start from Snake to begin with, because they understood that Pose were so far up, we can eliminate him from the fight alongside Jarvan. But the hardest part about this now is how do you play this one going forward? I mean, sure, Mystic got some damage here, healed right back up, and you're now playing through a full HP Braum. I wonder how long we're going to go through this, because Braum plays this one out smart for a good while. SofM has to go stopwatch. Then Mystic puts a new target on towards Asura. That's why he took a little bit of damage on that one auto attack. So you play front to back. Here comes the plan here from Flandre, because the moment Post goes for here, start to focus on him. 3-man knockup, and Asura could start looking for a jump opportunity. Gets a reset chance. Starts with Pose, and was going to go for xiye as well, but already had Valkyrie.
And that fight went so long, we're just back to another one, it seems like. 22 kills, 30 minutes. Let's do it again. Now the Baron fight continues. And after the last one expired, there's an Infernal coming later. Will we get to it? Post, Righteous Glory there onto Flandre. He does hop away just in time. Snake in a choke, but it's not going to matter as WE can't get the positioning right.
You have a full-on tank from Pose. You have a great passive there that Braum will give you, and of course the door to block any bit of damage that you want to be able to protect Mystic and Missing with. Great range there too. WE have a wonderful late game composition. It's going to be on SofM that can make the best with his kick, because Lissandra this far into the game is going to have a real tough time.
Yeah. Enough for SofM to be proactive. There's some weird sounds that actually come out of that Corki skin when he auto attacks. Sounds like someone's being oppressed. But for xiye, he's level 16 on this. No, level 18. Is that 18?
Yeah, there we go.
Can I see it? 16 or 18? I can't see. Doesn't matter. He's a high level.
He's 16. It's my eyes are bad too.
It might
so
be
that's
18.
fine.
I don't know. It doesn't matter. He's either 3 or 1 over Marla. And that's pretty much been the story of this game anyway. Going for a closer
It's
look,
16.
Raz.
We're
16?
fine. It's
Okay,
16.
okay.
being said, autos are going to be strong. Has Bloodthirster on top of that. That's why the shield is huge. And we're getting to a point where his last item you'd expect to be a more defensive item, like Guardian Angel, something to that matter.
Yep.
So offensively, he's at a pretty strong state. And what he wanted to be looking in for is like for a cheeky auto on Mystic or xiye. But if they ever get just some alone time with Pose, like time for them to just be able to blow him right out of the fight to begin with, that's really crucial. Because the Warmogs, with how long these fights end up going through, he can re-engage in the fight if he just pieces out for about 5 seconds.
That's what he did in the last fight.
So watch out for him. Warmogs in these longer engages are hard to really quantify.
We simply put Sion into the front. While Snake at the moment, they're looking towards that Baron once again. xiye, you can see, had picked up the static shiv.
Yeah, he's good.
So, 5th item there. And Baron not being started up, being baited, still clearing away some of that vision.
Late game Corki, man. Watch out for him.
Super annoying. Valkyrie's away once again. Asura's just ready to go up, though. That's a bloodthirster.
Yeah, but don't be in this kind of a position, because auto attacks are going to be hurting if xiye gets a range.
Yep. Can't withstand the fights. They've found Maestro. This is the Corki again. xiye heads forward and post pops the Righteous Glory. Now Baron priority goes over to WE.
Yep. Corki does quite a bit on top of the press the attack Mystic and Kaisa. That's just great late game damage. You have to find some creativity to get to that back line.
Creativity to get in the Baron pit. WE pull off it instantly, and Snake were baited in. But after the vision goes down, they know that maybe it's not being taken.
So I think priority right now, if they can get on to Pose or Missing, either ones, but no, it's a lot of bit of damage. A lot of potential on going on to Flandre, but he backs up at the right time.
Yeah, forced out again. Flandre does burn the heal from the spellbook. Now has teleport available, but that cheeky ward is going to be spotting out WE. So obvious to Snake that they're there. All they have to do is ward the Baron pit.
Yeah, they even threw in a blue trinket just in case. So there we go. Get whiff on it. Now there's truly no vision for Snake. What they need to do is get a full push out. You can see that's why Flandre is so caught out.
That's why xiye wants to go into Flandre into the middle there with
Mala
Pose ulting into the side. Mala not sure what he's doing in the middle of it, but a kickback from SofM. He'll die for it though, but xiye's already been taken down. The true hero
He's
with
in there.
SofM. And Asura just hitting again. The firefighter sending out his hose once more. And with Asura stuck in the middle, it's just perfectly done here from Snake. AD carry blues as beishang has to live alone.
If you're playing front to back, the worst way to play this one out is in an open space where the team can play around you. So it's good from beishang here to slow it down. You just have that one cannon minion, but there are a lot of tanky members. They can try and protect this one lowly cannon creep. Yeah, okay, let's go. Flandre, tank it up.
Yeah, why not? Asura does so much damage on these turrets too. An annoying part of Tristana shows itself in front of your face. And Snake turn this one around, bring themselves to a game 2 with high hopes. And as the GA goes down, Snake are just going to edit, hit that damn X. There you go. The Tristana debut game looks mighty fun.
Look at Asura clapping up. You have to be proud of yourself after that one, because that's one of those hyper carry games that if you find that one death on you, it feels like you've lost everything.
Yep.
With how well you've been playing, you still have to play well 40 minutes through. And that one was such a tough composition to play it against.
Flandre almost just broke his headphones on the way out, and that was kind of the game that dictated. Flandre was getting bullied around, he was getting smacked around. It was a very annoying top lane. But Snake played to that win condition, and even though it was the late game, it
Feels
was
bad
all
for
about
Team
Asura.
WE. Look at that. Look at the goal difference there. 20 minutes into the game, it was just 6k goal lead that they had for themselves. But remember what that goal lead means. That means that xiye and Mystic can get the gold necessary for that team fight. That it was going to be them just saying, okay, that we have the gold necessary much farther on in the game.
Yep.
But the problem was you still have to play those team fights out well. 2017 WE, with this composition, easiest game of their lives. But they still have to bring in the new members. Pose, beishang, and Missing mispositioned in that fight. I would love to be able to see that one again, because it just felt like right from the get-go, WE had great mid lane control, had great Baron control. They had no eyes on the Baron pit, the river. Snake were blind.
Yeah.
But it just came down to the fact that Tristana was huge, and Tristana wanted to find a way around the huge tanks of Team WE to get access onto the carries, and she did.
At the end, SofM, that's what I get excited for.
Yes.
SofM somehow got all the way into the back line and got a 2 or 3 man kick. Least in late game. like is absolute, like it's rubbish. Apart from
Look,
Captain Kick.
that's the thing. Lee Sin and Poppy are like the biggest question marks for me when it comes to a late game situation, because like gold, how much gold are you taking away from a fight? How much like with Poppy, the Poppy Hammer, the ultimate, you're like, okay, I just got 2 people out, that's high value.
Yeah.
With the Lee Sin kick, it's like the kick is what your value is for your team, and that can really get it for you. So wonderful play from Lee Sin, and from the AD carry, Asura coming up big again.
True, good turnaround from Snake. That's what we wanted out of the WE Snake series. Game 2 coming right up. Hopefully more like this.